All right, how you doing? Good evening. This is Coach Big Pete. Just basically opening remarks for Deep Dish Football Overtime Game of the Week. IC at Peotone. Two teams that I know very well. Peotone I coached against. IC I've been there so many times. It's unbelievable. Especially I went to the Wing Academy game against them. I was at the Peotone versus Wilmington game. Peotone lost. I think that was their only loss. Was to Wilmington. Was That was their only loss. Um, it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be IC's favored, but a lot of people are saying IC's going to it's going to be a complete pounding, and IC. I think that's completely untrue. I think Coach Tolly and Peotone have stood against great teams, and they've won games. I mean, what set them apart, especially this season, was their first win against Manteno. That first win against Manteno was unbelievable. Second, the second thing was their loss to Wilmington, but it was a loss in overtime, and you can really say that out of all those Interstate 8 small teams in that and all the other stuff in the past years, Peotone looked great. There were some mistakes, but Peotone looked great against Wilmington. Now, the piece of resistance for Peotone was that last game. They beat Herscher, and Herscher um, looked like a golden god in Interstate 8. And you can beat Herscher. That says something about your team. That says the resiliency of your team. And do not overlook Peotone. Do not, and I'm telling this to people, fans of IC, don't overlook Peotone. They have a great line with Malone, Cohen, great running back Gartner, great fullback. I'm forgetting his Gowdy, Browdy. I'm gonna mistake some names, and Coach Tully's probably gonna kill me for it, but I'll get it right next time. I do promise you that. Sorry, Coach Tully. Um, but they're good. They're really good. Great offensive line. IC, of course, has got the players. Great young quarterback. They switched quarterbacks. You got the Sonder twins. Um, Johnson at defensive tackle. And that defensive line is going to play a huge key in this Friday night's game. That IC defensive line is going to play a huge role. It's going to be a battle between Peotone offensive line and IC defensive line. That's the key battle right there. Key battle. Can't say that much. That's the key battle. The second battle will be the Peotone wide receivers against the Peotone defensive backs against IC wide receivers, because I'm expecting a lot of passing to go on from IC. That's my personal feeling. I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feeling towards this game. I do think that IC is going to try to throw the ball, but again, I'll probably be wrong. But it's going to be a good game. These were my opening remarks. I had to do it today. I was supposed to do it tomorrow, but I got another Deep Dish Football game of the week. So there's 3 games right now that I'm going to be going to. But this is the Deep Dish Football overtime game. Peotone versus IC. My main thing is this, and I'm going to say this right now. I think a lot of people are being stupid by counting out Peotone, and they're giving Peotone a lot of motivation and bulletin board material. Hey, I learned my lesson. I don't ever bet against Peotone anymore. Peotone looks great, and they fuel themselves off that motivation, and they're going to be good against IC, and they're going to shock a lot of people because a lot of people are writing Peotone right off right now. I would not do that. I would not do that. Coach Tolly should be nominated. Should be looked at as what a coach of the year in the state of Illinois for the work that he's done with that program, especially this season. So it's going to be interesting. Peotone versus IC. Keep it here. I'm going to have magic numbers, do a couple more videos, talk about that defensive line and that offensive line. It's going to be an interesting game. Can't wait to see it Friday night. Keep it here at deepdishfootball.com. Follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Coach Big Pete's opening remarks for Dieter's football game of the week, overtime, Peotone versus IC.